What impact do you think the Republican majority will have on Dodd-Frank?
It certainly will have some impact, although I don't think it'll be as big an impact as others might have suspected. We're certainly not going to see a full-scale repeal of Dodd-Frank. I mean, that's not politically palpable, and we have to remember that the U.S. committed, internationally, that we would make a lot of these changes to the marketplace. Even some of the smaller changes, the House Finance Committee over the last couple of years passed several sort of relatively small, focused initiatives aimed at changing Dodd-Frank that when Congress was mixed, there was no way they could get them through. Some of that might come up and be rehashed, although certainly not all of it. There's still a political process here, and there's still a general view that the American public doesn't want to see Congress looking like they're soft on Wall Street. So some changes. I think we'll see some tweaking and hopefully some taking a stronger look at some of the rules that maybe went a little bit too far.
And so I guess that means that maybe they won't really stop derivatives reform.
No, so CEFs won't go anywhere. Central clearing certainly won't go anywhere. Sort of the bigger pieces are here to stay. It really would be getting more into the weeds. So some of the focus on some people believe that the CFTC was a little too prescriptive in their rules about CEFs, for example, or about reporting. There have been proposals over the years to scale some of that back a little bit, to make the rules a little less prescriptive, to maybe take some of that power back from the CFTC. So the market could sort of run a little bit more freely. So I think we'll hear some of those discussions come up. But we can't ignore that Congress, I think, will continue to be distracted with other global issues. I think healthcare will continue to be a big focus, and energy dependency and such seem to be higher up on the list of things to do in Congress over the next 2 years.
It wouldn't make sense for them to spend a lot of political capital on the reforms that are redoing the reforms. It would seem like a waste of time.
Yeah. Especially at this point, we are a pretty good ways along. You may raise a good point. If we focus on Title VII, we're a pretty good ways along in getting those rules implemented with varying degrees of success. And it's a little hard to tell exactly how successful we've been because the markets are still so calm and volume and volatility is still so low, so we don't really know how the market will stand up when things start to really move again. But yeah, I think there's, again, there will be some change, and I think we'll see some progress in the next 2 years and some change, whereas in the past we've seen no real change in Congress because they can't agree on anything.
Mm-hmm.
So having that a little bit more of a cohesive group should at least allow us to get some needed changes through.
And my guess is too that maybe some of the deadlines might be eased. They may move the goalposts on certain aspects to give people more time
to think about it. Right, I think extraterritoriality has been a big issue, continues to be a big issue. We'd probably see a lot more trading on CEFs, for example, if those rules were more stringent and that it pulled more folks in to be U.S. people than are today. So giving it a little bit more time to step back and take another look at the rules and make sure that we're doing it properly. I think we're seeing that already, though, as the CFTC, sort of the commissioners have turned over so much in the last 6 or 9 months. It feels like they're already sort of stepping back a little bit and taking stock of what they have, what's been done recently, and what really they should focus on as a priority going forward.
And Gary Gensler's gone. So
he's gone, and he was a big driving force to really push some of those rules through. So it feels like we're seeing a much more thoughtful approach now by the CFTC. And to be fair to former Chairman Gensler, there was a lot of political pressure at the time to really move those rules forward quickly when the economy was in such bad shape. And now that things are arguably looking a bit better, they have a little bit more time, the CFTC, to think about what to do, how to do it properly, and to not rush the rules out the door like they had to do a couple of years ago.